be writing a symbolism essay in which you identify what has symbolic meaning in the text, The Ones Who Walks Away from Amelia's by Ursula Le Guin. A symbol is a physical thing that stands for an idea. In the same way we put up a hand when we say stop, or we put our finger over our mouth when we want someone to be quiet. A symbol, remember, is a physical thing that stands for an idea. The way a rose is a physical thing that stands for spring or love, okay? The way a lamb is a physical thing that stands for sacrifice. The symbols can be either archetype, universal, or contextual. Once you have identified one or more symbols within the text, you can support your idea with evidence from the text, either quotes from the characters and or events in the story. You will start your essay by defining the theme of the text in a universal way, connecting with cited bibliographic information on the author, a short 2 to 3 sentence summary of the text, and then your thesis statement. The body of the essay should focus and develop your symbols. Now, you can either decide to do one symbol, one thing that's represented 3 ways in the text, or, and the easier thing to do, is to find 3 different symbols and tell me what those symbols represent. You will develop an argument for how the symbol might better help the reader understand the text. Then conclude by evaluating the effectiveness of your symbol as it pertains to the theme and the universal outcome in your thesis statement. You should see your outline for more help. Also, you should make sure that all quotes from the text, bibliographic information on the author, and any definitions you choose to use are cited in text properly using MLA format and on the Works Cited page. Your topic is to analyze the short story, The Ones Who Walks Away from Amelia's by Ursula Le Guin, to determine the theme of the text through the symbols that the author uses throughout the text without summarizing the story. Here is your thesis stem. In the short story, The Ones Who Walks Away from Amelia's by Ursula Le Guin, the author uses symbolism to prove blank leads to or causes or affects blank. Okay, so remember that here you will place the theme of the text, and after you will place the universal outcome of the theme. Okay, so please make sure that you have all parts of your thesis when you're submitting. I'm not sure I understand. Me either, Siri. All right, so make sure, let's see, let's go back. I think I messed up. There we go. When you go to your map, you will present the entire thesis statement there. I'm having trouble with my buttons today. All right, there we go. We're in business. All right, so make sure that you have your entire thesis statement there. Back to the description sheet. Your focus for your essay should be a strong thesis statement that shows the scope of the assignment as outlined above. Essay should show rather than tell. Make sure you're using your critical voice to explain. You should never say, "This essay will." In fact, you should never use the word essay in your essay. We are collegiate writers. We want to use our formal critical voice to be explaining our stance. Topic sentences for body paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 should validate and mirror the thesis statement. You should create 3 organized body paragraphs that focus on one main point each and divide your essay into manageable sections for your reader. This essay must include 2 sources with correlating in-text citations and a Works Cited page. The first source is your biography, and the second source is your text. Listed here is your introduction structure and paragraph structure, which is the same as the last 4 essays that you have written. Please use multiple examples and explanations to highlight and prove the topic sentences. You should arrange your symbols in a logical manner with supporting information that relates to the categories with sufficient details. This means that the symbols that you present, or the symbol and the examples that you present, should go in chronological order as they happen in the text. Each paragraph should highlight the symbol's individualism by making a meaningful point. Each paragraph, even the introduction and conclusion, should be a minimum of 8 to 10 sentences. Please note that this is the last essay for the course and therefore is your final. It is 25% of your grade. I cannot give you a C if you do not have the correct paragraph links. Please make sure you know that. Avoid taking a stance or providing examples and explanations. Don't tell me that the author is successful because you think it is. Tell me why. The complete essay should be written in third-person point of view. Please do not use the words I, me, we, you, your, us, we, or our. You should also take care to not write with contractions as we are writing a formal essay. Again, you should use your critical voice to explain. Show that you have thought out each explanation by giving commentary that accurately links your examples back to your thesis statement. Your essay should follow MLA guidelines, be double-spaced with an info block and a header. It should be typed with 1-inch margins. You should take care to avoid all spelling, mechanical, and grammatical errors. Avoid awkward or incorrect wording. Your topic should be narrow with a clear thesis, as I've already given to you. Your format should be 5 paragraphs, all indented with a clear structure. To find out the essay timeline, you should look at your course calendar and your assignment checklist. You should always write your essay for an educated, informed audience who is not in this class and may not be familiar with the terms or examples that you may use. You will need to summarize key ideas, define any terms that might not be familiar, and choose appropriate diction to help your reader understand your topic. If you don't know what symbolism is or are having trouble on writing symbolism, here are some helpful tips. You should also note that there is a video. There are actually 2 links on Blackboard that go over what symbolism is as well. Let's look at your map, okay? The first thing I want you to do is list the symbol, okay? Then you'll have to tell me what that symbol symbolizes or represents. So again, here's my example. If there was a rose used in the story, which there's not, but if there's a rose used in the story and I say it represents love, right? Then I need to find examples from the text. This is always number 3 in your How to Write guide, so you should write that as it is, right? The text states, comma, open up your quotation, close your quotation, and then the author's last name should be in parentheses with the period at the end. This will go for each one of these, okay? Your commentary and analysis should be number 4 and 5 from your How to Write guide. If you look at that, it will say, tell what the evidence, quote from the text, represents and how the author uses it throughout the story. Okay, number 5, how does the symbol prove that the theme leads to the universal outcome you have in your thesis? So you want to go ahead and begin that commentary in your map when you submit. Okay? Going back to the How to Write the thesis and topic sentences. Possible themes for the ones who walk away from Amelia's. Fictional utopia. So you would start your paper as utopia is. Okay, paradox. Paradox is. Civilization. Civilization is. Happiness. Happiness is. Selfishness. Selfishness is. Pride. Pride is. All remember that your paper, the very first word in your paper should be whichever theme you've chosen from this list here. Next, you will find 3 symbols Le Guin uses in the text that symbolizes or can lead you to the theme you chose from above, and write them in the boxes below. Make sure that you know what the thing or idea represents and note that on your map as well. Once you've chosen your theme, the 3 symbols, and have established what they represent, it's time to move to your thesis statement. Remember, the outcome of the theme in the thesis should be presented in a universal way and should not directly relate to the text itself. Reread that again, just so you know. Please do not copy directly the theme or the outcome from the thesis below in my example. Here's my example for this essay. In the short story, The Ones Who Walk Away from Amelia's by Ursula K. Le Guin, the author uses symbolism to show how one's relationship to society can differ based on the level of their selfish desires. I have the theme here and then the universal outcome here. Remember your introduction structure. You should always start by defining the theme of your text. Do not introduce the text here. That happens in number 2. So if we're going to our outline, remember, we would start this by saying, the relationship to society is, and then define it in your own words. Link the theme to the author and introduce the text title. This theme can be seen in many short stories. One in particular is ... Okay, Le Guin experienced this theme in her own life when. Make sure that you have a citation at the end of the biography information. That is also given right here in the introduction structure where it says biography.com editors. Then you will give a 2 to 3 sentence summary of the text and a thesis statement. Here's your body paragraph structure. Please follow this exactly. For each of the body paragraphs, you will begin with a topic sentence. One symbol Ursula Le Guin uses in The Ones Who Walk Away from Amelia's is a blank that represents blank. In the story, comma, now give the background summary. Number 3, the text states, give the quote from the text that shows the symbol and gives an idea of what it represents. This section must end in the author's last name as a parenthetical citation. Number 4, tell what the evidence, the quote from the text represents and how the author uses it throughout the story. How does the symbol affect the story's plot? This section should be 3 to 4 sentences. Number 5, how does the symbol prove that the theme leads to the universal outcome you have in your thesis? Please don't forget this. That is 3 to 4 sentences as well. And then you will conclude with a sentence that restates the topic sentence. You don't have to do it in a new way, just do it the same way. For body paragraphs 2 and 3, you will follow the exact same structure. Don't forget to write the conclusion. That's your 5th paragraph. It should begin by restating the thesis statement exactly. Here are some helpful essay tips. Write the full essay in the present tense. Do not use past tense verbs when you are writing about or analyzing a story. Do not use any first or second person pronouns. Think about how and why the character makes the choices they do, not necessarily what they do. Remember, I've already read this essay or this text, so I already know what they do. I want you to analyze the reasons why they do it and how the author uses it throughout the text. Every paragraph should have at least one quote from the text with a matching in-text citation to the works cited page. In this case, your in-text citation should be Le Guin in every body paragraph. It should be biography.com editors in your introduction. And again, please do not use in conclusion in your paper. The essay outline is exactly the same from the ones we've done before. You should have no problem with it. Other than that, that is all I have for you for Essay 5. If you have any questions, please email me and let me know.